a plan, ready to make you the only one. Make you know the bad dog go be the only man. Me a the king, you feel be queen in a Milan. Down in a me nation, I go make you citizen. Come make we make a decision. Run where your man, cause you know they get along. Yeah, give me your hand, make me put it on. Make a band, mark it on your body till you see the baby born. Now, make I tell you, girl, you are something fresh. When me check it out, your type never there. Woman, your body smooth and it coming like a mesh. Me well want fit taste, cause you sweet like a liver. I'm not gonna leave you behind, always in front of me. Cause I've been running all around, searching for that perfect one. Don't know you the one I'm looking for. I've been running all around, searching for that perfect one. Don't know you the one I'm looking for. I'm done, woman, I no go continue. We are the look for, we are the make you know. Brand new love, I they give on to you. This are quani, I no body show. Done, woman, I no go continue. We are the look for, we are the make you know. Brand new love, I they give on to you. You know it only have to you for sure. Me love to heat up your body, yes, that a me hobby. If me then you wait, Jaja bless, no pay no mind to copy. I go meet up your mommy, if only you they want me. I never go to play, you go be my one and only. Wow. Me have a many, but I just one girl. That thing where you they do me, hey, I just can't tell. Make you know they show they do, and they like I'm well. The only reason why I show and tell. So make you know they watch no man at all. If you be body where you want me take and tall. So make a climb the China wall. Girl, I go feel rich it all. I've been running all around, searching for that perfect one. Don't know you the one I'm looking for. I've been running all around, searching for that perfect one. Don't know you the one I'm looking for. Me have a plan, ready to make you the only one. Make you know the bad dog go be the only man. Me a the king, you feel be queen in a Milan. Down in a me nation, I go make you citizen. Come make we make a decision. Run where your man, cause you know they get along. Yeah, give me your hand, make me put it on. Make a band, mark it on your body till you see the baby born. Yeah. Make I tell you, girl, you are something fresh. When me check it out, your type never there. Woman, your body smooth and it coming like a mesh. Me well want fit taste, cause you sweet like a liver. I'm not gonna leave you behind, always in front of me. Cause I've been running all around, searching for that perfect one. Don't know you the one I'm looking for. I've been running all around, searching for that perfect one. Don't know you the one I'm looking for. I'm done, woman, I no go continue. We are the look for, we are the make you know. Brand new love, I they give on to you. This are no quani, I no body show. Done, woman, I no go continue. We are the look for, we are the make you know. Brand new love, I they give on to you. You know it only I go marry you for sure. Girl, me love how your bumper shape.
But what about the other girl?
She a bumper cake. I me no want no taxi girl. And every man feel the thing.
Hey, kill me, yes, you know.
I'm done.
ABN Radio, London's premier Afropolitan station.
Anything I do, then go talk. My people steady hustle non-stop. Me and Jazzy cruise around in the Porsche. Dr. C got the girls on lock. Hey, mommy me, oh. Father Lord, I beg bless mommy me, oh. Can't stop enemies to follow me, oh. Baba Loke, no shame to mommy me, oh. Father Lord, I beg bless mommy me, oh. Can't stop enemies to follow me, oh. Baba Loke, no shame to
boys, you go got for that. I don't need the so not to walk on the back. You ain't get me dream novi. What I call a joby. Say up on a mellow my hood to see no. Now check ya, I didn't popular than the VP. Now my story will start too soon on their BB. Before that didn't see how we go free me. You open us again, you cannot be me. I got my city on my back, I'm a cousin up slack. Now when they come my show money without a dance track. I'm on a city now, yeah, I got Kanko. I put a kid on my Sina in Sequando. I Samson, and yeah, quality time. And I watch him Rolex, and that's quality time. She plays they go the rain, and now I got that brain. And they get empty, they got put on Jazzy again. Get out.
When we talk, say I don't feel do it. Oh, na 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 na. But I'm a man and I keep it moving. You can't stop what I'm doing. You took the rush, I'm cruising. On the back, the let no fit stop me. Cause I'm destined to win. Oh, I've been grinding so long, and I will never give up. Even though the road might seem long, I'm gonna keep holding on.
Canteen. Now we don't upgrade the matter. Daily and weekly and monthly and quarter. Now we don't talk to butter. Family they smile and we no get quanta. That we just say Yoruba. Make them no go forget say Adona Baba. Eruku de Shiama.
Life is all about the money. Kardashian, the back of my brand new Bentley. Is it because I'm balling? They want to draw my ginger, they want to hear my story, they want to be falling. Some jealous, some people jealous. Oh, you come and let my money, oh, you come follow me, John. I don't want to match again. I want to jacket like a dynamic want to love. Yeah.
ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
More news, more information. This is ABN News on the Hour.
From the Sky News Centre at 2, a man's been jailed for at least 26 years for a murder he tried to blame on his 14-year-old son. Matthew Mosley was sentenced at Preston Crown Court. Anna Jones reports.
Mosley shot dead 32-year-old Lee Holt outside his home near Accrington in Lancashire last October. The 50-year-old then handed the firearm to his son and told him to tell police he was the one who pulled the trigger. The tree surgeon watched on as the teenager was led away in handcuffs. The boy initially followed his dad's orders before eventually coming clean.
Boris Johnson's attacked proposals for a customs partnership after Brexit as crazy. The plan would see the UK collect EU import tariffs on behalf of Brussels. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited the Chinese city of Dalian for talks with President Xi Jinping. The visit's part of a flurry of diplomatic engagements that's dramatically eased tension on the Korean peninsula. Meanwhile, Donald Trump speaking to President Xi this lunchtime, hours before he's due to announce whether he'll pull America out of the Iran nuclear deal. Rail companies are starting a public consultation aimed at making ticketing fairer. The rail delivery group, representing train firms, says about 55 million different fares exist currently. It says passengers aren't always offered the cheapest ticket available because of anomalies. These commuters at Liverpool Street Station in London have largely welcomed the news.
It's very confusing if you want to go and travel at different times, and there's so many different fares.
A bit backwards, so yeah, could be better. Everything's got to be app-based, easy to deal with.
Everything was working fine, and I don't see the point of it that much.
If there's cheaper rail tickets out there, then you should just be able to find them instantly.
Labour MPs quit to become London Mayor Sadiq Khan's deputy. Heidi Alexander's decision will trigger a by-election in her Lewisham constituency. In sport, regular season Major League Baseball games are coming to the UK for the first time. The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox face each other in a doubleheader in London in 2019. That's the latest. I'm Laura Safe.
It's here, the African Gospel Music and Media Awards 2018, celebrating excellence. On the 2nd of June 2018, at East London Arts and Music Main Auditorium, 45 Maltings Close, Bromley by Bow, London, E3 3TA, from 6 p.m, featuring Joe Beto, Diana Hamilton, Isabella, Called Out Music, Shekinah, Dena Mwanga, Afri David, Angel Bernard, Judith Sefuma, Blessing Ali, and Reaper's Choir. For tickets and information, visit AfricanGospelMusicAwards.com or call 07906 932 670. The African Gospel Music and Media Awards 2018, celebrating excellence.
Clap your hands and dance it.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred, it's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life. What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English bit.
Salad, fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa. I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio Breakfast Show with Efuadum. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy UG Official. And right now, you're tuned into ABN Radio. Make sure you don't touch that dial. Stay tuned.
This is ABN Radio, projecting rich African culture through the power of radio.
They say they ain't heard nothing like this in a while. That's why they play my song on so many different dials. Cause I got more hits than a disciplined child. So when they see me, everybody barracks. Man, I'm like a young gun, fully black. I cry teardrops over the massive attack. I only make hits like I work with a racket and back. Look at my jacket and hat, slow down, berserk, slow down to earth. I'm bringing gravity back, adopted by the major. I want my family back. People work hard just to get all their salary tax. Just a writer from the ghetto like Mallory Black. Man, where the hell for the sanity at? Damn, I used to be the kid that no one cared about. That's why you have to keep screaming till they hear you out. When we hit, we never took cause we needed a change. I needed a break. For a sec, I even gave up believing and praying. I even done illegal stuff and was needed a strain. They say the money is the root to the evilest ways. But have you ever been so hungry it keeps you awake? Mate, now my hunger will leave them amazed. Great, it feels like a long time coming. Since the day I thought of that cunning plan. One day I had a dream, I tried to chase it, but I wasn't going nowhere. Running, man. Someday I would understand. Trying to change a 10 to 100 grand. Everyone's a kid that no one cares about. You just gotta keep screaming till they hear you out.
Yes, indeed. It is written all over the stars that ABN Radio UK and Sports Link Up with me, Kente Kufuor, will be here today on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon somewhere in South London. Yo, it is written all over the stars that yes, we'll be here today from 2 o'clock to 3 p.m. And also, it's also written that, you know what, ABN Radio UK, London's Afro-Political station, we always keep giving you the best. You can trust that on us. And coming up on the show today, Sports Link Up, as you know already. Joining me in the studio is my co-host and also my partner in crime, Abu Bakar. Abu, the smile on your face. What, have you won a lottery, mate?
I'm just very excited to be here, Kwame. Very excited.
Right. We've got a lot coming up on the show today, mate, isn't it?
A lot coming up, a lot of exciting stuff. Fun packed show.
Yes, indeed. Coming up on the show today, we've got a Premier League relegation battle. It even gets more testier tonight at the Liberty Stadium as Swansea City comes face to face with Southampton in a do or die. This game is going to determine who stays in the Premier League. And also we shall be looking into which of the clubs will be joining, which of the London clubs will be joining the Manchester teams, which is Manchester City, Manchester United. So we're going to look at which of the London clubs. Is it going to be Chelsea? Is it going to be Tottenham Hotspur to join them in that place for the top four? Yes, the play for the top four is still live and kicking. And also Arsenal fans, I've got a big question for you this afternoon, Arsenal fans. What kind of legacy did Arsene Wenger left behind? It was a bit of emotional. I shouldn't say emotional, but look at your face. It was emotion all over the stadium at the Emirates Stadium on Sunday afternoon. But look, Wenger has finally signed out. That was his last game in charge of the Gunners in North London. And finally, the Stoke fans, I'm asking you this afternoon, who should be blamed for the debacle at Stoke City after the 10 years of your stay in the Premier League came to an end? All this and more coming up right after this.
vibration, it's around us. Every nation, all around us. Singing forever young, singing songs underneath the sun. Let's rejoice in the beautiful game.
Right, welcome back to Sports Link Up with me, Kente, Kufuor, and Abu Bakar Kamara. You can join in the conversation by calling us on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300. You can even WhatsApp or text us on 0788 7475 940. I would like to hear from you. Maybe you were a Chelsea fan, United fans, and Liverpool fans. Wow. Liverpool fans, actually, I've got a big question for Liverpool fans. You know what? It is a big question, isn't it? Because, look, Abu, take it this way. We're going to talk about that later, but take it this way. If Liverpool fails to win the Champions League come 26th of May this month in Kiev, all right, and they don't qualify for the Champions League, would that deem that as a failure?
It'll be an exciting season, but then it'll be deemed as a failure because this season they wanted the Champions League. Maybe not winning it, but they wanted to get in the Champions League. So if they get to the final and then they don't win it, and then not to get in the Champions League through the league as well, it'll be deflating for Liverpool fans.
Deflating for them, isn't it?
It'll be very deflating.
So it's pivotal that they win.
It's very pivotal that they try to get it through the league because Madrid, they're very hard to overcome. Even
defending champions as well.
Liverpool,
Defending champions as well.
They're going after three in a row, so they really want it. So I would not put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. I'll try and get it done in the league and just use Madrid as an opportunity to win the Champions League.
All right, let's start. Let's start. Thank you for that. Let's start with the news that just before we came into the studio, just before the show started, you got some news coming up from Manchester for us. What you got for us?
Oh yeah, as everyone knows, that's connected to football. It's Alex Ferguson, who had a brain hemorrhage and fell down on his home on Saturday, and he had to be rushed to hospital, into Salford Hospital. But we're hearing now
sad news.
Very sad news for everybody connected to football, especially Manchester club as well. But we're hearing now from sources close to him and ex-players that he's now up from the surgery. And
that's good news then.
Yeah, and he's speaking, so that's good news. And obviously he's not out of the woods yet, but everyone is full of optimism that he would be out of the woods, and he's a fighter, and we all hope that he comes through, and we'll pray, and our prayer goes out to his family and him, really.
I mean, talking about Alex Ferguson, what he has given to football, we need him back.
You need him back.
He's a fighter during his time at Manchester United. All the big games, the games that he's able to put through it. He's a fighter. So I honestly think Fergie is going to come back. So Alex is going to come back.
He's going to come back. And when you think about all the players, the amount of love that's come out since that's happened, David Beckham saying wishing him well, Ryan Giggs saying he's done more. They
see him as a dad.
Yeah, that's a dad. Even Jones said he's like a father to me. That's what Jones said. Man United centre back. So it just shows the amount of love all round the country.
Not even the country.
Not even the world. The world. But just like there's no he's just loved, and he's just a great, and everyone just wants him to get well and be back. That's all we can hope for.
All right. Look, you can also join us in the conversation, but like we said, call in 0208 191 7078. Maybe you've got something to say. Maybe you want to contribute towards the show. And also you can also watch us on YouTube live. Just go on YouTube and just type in ABN Radio UK Live, and you see me with my colorful summary shirts. That if you want to catch a glimpse of it, you can always have a look at that, what goes on behind the scenes at ABN Radio UK. But let's quickly jump on because of our time. Big game at the Liberty Stadium tonight. It doesn't get bigger than that.
When you're talking about this is as big as a cup final. This is as big as a cup final. Yeah, because you lose this and you're playing in a whole different league. So nobody wants to lose this, and I think maybe that might work into West Brom's favour because both of them might go into that game a bit tentative, and no one wants to lose it, so they might end up with a draw if they're both reserved. But somebody has to risk it and try and take all three, because this is a big opportunity to get yourself out of that hole and end it quickly. So I think both of them will want the 3 points. Swansea has the advantage because they're at home, but Southampton, they want it as bad as well, and they got the talent to go there and put in a performance. I think it's going to be a very interesting game, one of the best we're going to see all season, because there's so much on the line. I don't think there's been a game this big, because the title was kind of sealed from early on. This game is actually a very, very, very big game in terms of the bottom of the table and who's going to stay and who's going to go. I think it's going to be exciting.
Information that we're getting from Swansea as well. I don't probably have heard about this already in regards to Southampton booked a hotel, a Maros hotel. There was a bit of controversy there, isn't it? They booked a hotel around the stadium, about 3 miles away from the stadium.
Yeah.
And just before they showed up at the hotel, their reservation for some strange reason got cancelled. I thought things like this only happens in African football. It's happening in the country.
It feels like a bit of gamesmanship, doesn't it? It does feel like a bit of gamesmanship, because you rarely hear stories like that about football clubs reservation being cancelled, because it's rare.
Now they have to settle for a hotel. The hotel's name is called Glenmorgan Hotel, about 40 minutes away from the stadium.
All mind games, you know.
It's mind games, isn't it?
A bit more travel time. Get a bit more
traffic.
Yeah, so I think it's all mind. Maybe a gamemanship. Nobody's saying Swansea's involved, but it's just a bit weird that a reservation for a football team got cancelled
at the last minute,
and they never even got notified until they got there.
And apparently, the hotel is still taking booking a guest. So that's not. I mean, that should tell us that how important this game is for these two clubs.
Think about it, financially, this game
120 million
is big. This game is very big.
Million at stake.
Yeah, very big game. So when you're thinking about it in that aspect, this is not a small fry game. It's a very, very big game, and both players have to go out there and put in a performance that they'll be proud of and not regret it. So,
one of the questions I was going to ask you about. Mark Hughes, who's the Saints manager, he thinks his players have got what it takes to win tonight. Do you feel this? I mean, last week they were a bit unlucky against Everton when that ball deflected and went straight in. They ended up having to settle for a 1-1 draw, but tonight game, they need to stay focused. If they need to take anything from Liberty Stadium, they definitely need to stay focused.
They need to stay focused, and I do agree with him. I think they got enough talent in that team to go out there and get a result. When you think about Tadic and you think about Redmond, them type of players, they can get you something from a free kick or something special. So they can win, but as you said, they have to stay concentrated, because as much as you want it, you have to remember the other camp want it as much as you. So what's going to separate it is that little bit of quality and that little bit of wanting it more and going the extra mile, making runs. So it's just about who wants it more. That's what this type of games always boils down to, and who's got the mind to keep concentrated and do what they're meant to do and not lose their mind and get carried away by the game and the occasion.
So what would you got to say to what Swansea manager also got to say? Carlos Carvajal says that he believes his side can get all the 3 points tonight. Judging from what you've seen from Swansea City throughout the whole season, do you believe that they've got what it takes, like what their manager is saying, to get all 3 points?
Since Carvajal's got there, yes, I believe. And they're at home. They got the crowd. The crowd's going to be up for it tonight. That's going to be a big help. They have to be up for it. In a game like this, that can just tilt it your way just a little bit more. So they can do it, but I think you can't call this type of game, because it just depends on the night who comes out and plays their game and do not get affected by the other team or the occasion. Because this is a kind of occasion. This is where you find out the great players. Some of them hide, and some of them come to the front and actually deliver something. So you're going to find out who the players are that really want it. And it's that type of game. You can't really call it. It's just about who goes out there and play their football and don't get discouraged by the occasion.
I mean, I'm glad that you mentioned that it's a type of game that some of these big players, they need to stand up and be counted, because some of these players, they're on a big paycheck, and it's about time that the club needs them most. And talking about big players, Swansea City, they were able to negotiate and bring back the Ghanaian international Andre Ayew. Tonight's game, what should we expect from Andre Ayew? Do you think it's about time Andre Ayew pays back the trust that Swansea City had in him?
When he was there initially before he went to West Ham, I think he done well. I think he was one of their best players. And the thing about Ayew, where you can always, if you get him in and around the box, you can always guarantee a goal from him. Yeah. He's a very nippy player, and he's a poacher. So you want him in the box, and I think he's the type of player that can produce that big performance I was talking about. He can take a game by the scruff of the neck and get 2-3 and kind of make it good for Swansea. So he's the player that they're going to be looking for, someone like him, because they need goals tonight. Anywhere that you look at it, you're looking for your goal scorers tonight. That's what you need, the goals. And I think Andre Ayew could be big for them.
Yeah, tonight. Definitely. I totally agree with you. Andre Ayew and his brother Jordan Ayew, they are going to be pivotal for Swansea's. If Swansea goes ahead and take all the 3 points from the Liberty Stadium in tonight's game. Still to come on the show. We shall be crossing over to speak to one of our Premier League experts, Michael Kitchener, to get his views on on who is going to finish the top 4 in the Premier League. At the moment, the top 4 looks like Man City, who've already won the Premier League. Second is Manchester United, followed by Liverpool. Then you got Spurs, and you also got Chelsea.
Yeah.
The two Chelsea's basically is breathing down the neck of Tottenham Hotspur. So when we come back from the break, we shall be crossing over to our Premier League expert, Michael Kitchener, to get his views on who can finish or who has got what it takes to finish in that Premier League top 4. And most importantly, who is going to qualify for that big money Champions League football come next season. All this and more right after this on London Metropolitan Station, ABN Radio UK. When it's big, we've got it. Stay tuned.
It was a well-paying job, respectable, wearing a suit and tie every day. But I drank 24/7. Drank on the way to work, drank at work.
I never could come to terms with admitting that I had an alcohol problem or a pill problem.
I decided to get clean, and so I went to the Narconon program.
Not only did I handle my drug addiction, I completely knew how to live life.
Call Narconon today at 01435 512 460. 01435 512 460.
Tune in to the new ABN Breakfast Show from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The London City Show has evolved into a show with sizzling slices of juicy news current affairs served with junior jumbo-sized convos on issues you should be aware of. What did I just say? The ABN Breakfast Show, the Afropolitan breakfast you can't afford to miss.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
ABN Radio, home of Afrobeats.
Yes, indeed. I'm not gonna lie. ABN Radio UK, if you're looking for all the top news, you're looking for gospel, if you're looking for sports, we've got it all. We've got everything covered. And once again, if you just join us, you can join in the conversation by calling us on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 6707 300. You can also WhatsApp or test us on 0788747590. I know a lot of people are testing us from left, right, and center. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'll try and read out your text messages as the show goes along. But joining us on the line at the moment is our Premier League expert, Michael Kitchener, to talk about the Premier League relegation battle and also the top 4. Michael, a very good afternoon to you, Mike.
Good afternoon to you, gents.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon, Michael. You got a bit of bass in your voice. Have you won a lottery, Mike?
No, not at all. Do you know what? I've just been enjoying your summary shirt on your YouTube feed link.
Oh, thank you. At least.
Today.
Oh, you know what? At least someone have noticed it. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, you're welcome. Not a problem, sir.
Well, you know what's going to be even better if Tottenham drops out of the top 4.
Well, do you know what? It's looking increasingly like they will. They're not in form at all at the moment, Tottenham. They seem to be maybe on the beach. Maybe, again, suffering effects from that semi-final defeat 2-1 to Manchester United at Wembley. On paper, they've got nothing's easy in the Premier League, but 2 easier games. Home to Leicester and home to Newcastle are their last 2 games. So, You know what? On paper, Spurs should get there, but it's looking a little bit dodgy for Liverpool now, because if Chelsea win their game in hand, they're going to go level on points of Liverpool. Liverpool just ahead of them on goal difference.
Yep.
Then, of course, Klopp's got that kind of quandary whether he rests players on the last day of the season against Brighton for the Champions League final.
Yes, indeed.
But at the moment, it looks like he's going to have to play his full-strength team if he wants to be in the competition next year for definite.
Yeah.
I mean, just before you came on the show, Michael, me and Abu were just having a discussion about, do you reckon it's going to be a failure for Klopp if he fails to beat Real Madrid come 26th of May in Kiev, and he fails to get Liverpool into the Champions League? Do you reckon it's going to be a failure for him?
I couldn't agree more. I think that his job is actually in danger. Liverpool are in the Champions League final. They need Champions League football at a club that size. I think the owner, John Henry, I don't think he's going to be very happy if they don't qualify for the Champions League, because that is, after all, why he bought Liverpool. He wants them to be a Champions League club. So
yeah, that's where the money is.
I think they could be looking seriously at Klopp's job if he doesn't get in that Champions League.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, go on, Abu.
Yeah, Michael, I was just going to say, how deflating would it be for the Liverpool fans if it does end up like Kwame just says and they lose in the Champions League final and then get nipped to the top 4 by Chelsea or Spurs?
Oh, I'm having trouble hearing you there, Abu. I can't quite hear you, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just about.
I'm saying, how deflating would it be for the Liverpool fans if it does end up as Kwame just said and they lose in the Champions League final and do not manage to clinch the top 4?
Well, I mean, it's almost as devastating as Arsenal fans being in the Champions League. There's the weekly dig for you, gents. No, in all seriousness, look, fans want success at their club. You have to get into the Champions League to be a successful club. I think, obviously, Arsenal are finding that, trying to attract a new manager and new players. Chelsea found it the previous season as well. So I think we're looking at a situation now where it's do or die for Liverpool. I personally think that the game against Brighton is more important than the game against Real Madrid.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. I just think they need to try and secure it in the league, because against Madrid it's so unpredictable. And if you lose that, then everything just looks bad. Even though they've had a great season, an exciting season, but then everything will just look bad if they do end up losing that and do not secure top 4. So I think you're right. Brighton should be a focus for them.
Yeah, Chelsea could lose to Huddersfield tomorrow night, and then we'd be having a whole different conversation, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's true. As you said, the Premier League is so unpredictable right now. You don't really know what you're going to get. You can say on paper we can win this, but you can't count any points until you actually have got them and the 90 minutes is up.
Definitely.
Right, Michael, talking about do and die. Big game at the Liberty Stadium tonight.
Huge, massive. I mean, this is basically a relegation playoff, Kente. I mean, they have it in the Bundesliga.
Yes,
in Germany, where they have that relegation playoff. This is basically what that is. You know, I think every football fan who's a neutral tonight would probably want to draw so that West Brom is still in the hunt for the last round. Yes, indeed. Because then we're going to have a huge last Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, where all 10 games play at the same time. So I think, look, if I'm honest, I actually fancy Swansea tonight. I think that home advantage may see them over the line. I think the Ayew brothers, we've spoken about them several times this season before.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Step up this afternoon and really need to show what they're made of. But for me, on paper, I think Swansea should get that win, because Southampton have got to be dejected after that 96-minute equaliser on Saturday.
Yes, it's true. Michael, thank you. But just before you go, just before we came to the studio, we had news coming through Manchester that say Alex Ferguson is out with coma and he's talking. How good is that?
It's fantastic for football, Kente. We've seen an outpouring of support for the great man, and obviously I know everyone at ABN parties their wishes for him and his family, and it's so nice to see the football world pulled together. Man City fans, Man United fans, United in love for what is a fantastically talented individual and a great man for the Premier League.
Yep.
Michael Kitchener, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Speak to you soon.
Take care now, mate. Bye-bye. Right, that was Michael Kitchener just listening to our chief sports correspondent, also our Premier League expert, talking about relegation battle at the Liberty Stadium tonight, and also giving us a glimpse of what we should be expecting comes at the end of the season, which is just basically around the corner. Sunday, well, most of the clubs all clubs play their last game in the Premier League. So we're just talking to him about who's going to finish in that top 4 to get that chance to be in the Champions League come next season. And Abu, like Michael just said before he went off, Liverpool, they need to get themselves into the top 4.
They need to get themselves to the top 4, and I think Michael's totally right. The Brighton game, for me, I think that's bigger than the Madrid game, because you win the Brighton game, get into the top 4, and you don't beat Madrid, everyone will say you've had a terrific season.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Go for it again next season, because no one expected you to get to the final.
You're right.
But you lose to Brighton, don't get top 4 and go and lose to Madrid, then all of a sudden, as Michael said, his job will be on the line, or they'll at least be looking at it, because he hasn't achieved what they set for the season, which was getting to the Champions League football, whatever means that might be. So winning it or getting the top 4, but I'll say try and get in the top 4.
Getting the top 4 is pivotal, isn't it?
Very pivotal.
It's very pivotal to them. And if you want to join in the conversation, the number to call is 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300. You can even WhatsApp or text us on 0788 7475940. It seems like all the messages it's coming through. Everyone is talking about my bright shirt that I've got on today, Abu. Come on, you got to give it to me.
I told you about a bright shirt. I told you.
If you want to get a glimpse of what is happening behind the scenes at ABN Radio UK, just go on our YouTube page, type in ABN Radio UK Live, and you see my bright, beautiful summery shirt I'm wearing. You can just have a glimpse of it. Abu, when we're just going to take a quick break. When we do come back, we shall be looking at how important, what kind of legacy did Arsene Wenger leave behind at Arsenal Football Club. What do you think? What kind of legacy do you think he left behind?
I think a terrific legacy. I think a legacy that will always be remembered. Very few managers can do what he has done, and regardless of how the last couple of years went and how the majority of fans felt, I think on the last game against Burnley, we all saw how much he meant to the club and how much he meant to people, because even people that was fully against him, you felt a bit of emotion.
Yes, indeed.
And that is the kind of a legacy that he's left. He's forever in people's hearts, and you can't take away that he's the greatest manager we've ever had. Regardless of what people say about him or how else, he's the greatest manager we've ever had. That's period. That's facts. And we can't discredit him for anything that's gone on. And I think he's going to leave behind a great legacy for me.
Let me play the devil advocate here, Abu.
Yeah, I'm gone.
During his speech at Emirates Stadium on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Even though he might not know who is going to take over at Emirates Stadium, but he did not at any point in time probably even go on to say, "Oh, I wish the next person that is going to take over from me luck." I did not hear Wenger say that.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to. I can understand why he wouldn't say it, because he doesn't want to put the pressure on who they get, because they haven't made the decision themselves. So if you say, "I want this guy," and
no, what I'm saying is, I wanted him to say, "Oh, at least, I wish the next person that takes over my Ryan, I wish him luck, and hopefully you guys will support the person that takes over from me."
Well, it was a bit emotional for him, because I don't believe he wanted to leave. So of course he's not going to say that. He was pushed. So of course he's not going to say that. He's not. He's going to leave because he's a graceful man and he's a man of class. So he's not going to come out and be spiteful. But also he's not going to come out and say things he doesn't mean. And I'm pretty sure he wanted the last year, but the club thought his time was up, so they moved him on. So of course he's not going to want to talk about that. Maybe at the end of the season we would hear about that. But right now, I think the occasion was about him and celebrating him, and you don't want to take the gloss away from that and start focusing on other things at that time.
All right, listen, Arsenal fans, I would like to hear from you. What kind of legacy did Arsene Wenger leave behind at your football club, and whom do you want like to see taking over at Emirates Stadium come next season? And if maybe probably say Allegri takes over at Emirates Stadium, do you want to see the board coming out openly to back him with money so that Allegri can bring in the kind of players that he wants to bring into the football club? All this and more coming up right after the break. Keep locked in. ABN Radio UK, London's representative station.
Cry. If he be having food.
Right, if you just join in, if you just logged in into London's Afropolitan station, ABN Radio UK, you're listening to me, Kente, Kufuor on Sports Link Up. And also I've got with me in the studio, Abubakar Kamara, a seasoned sports journalist who joins us. He's basically also the co-host to the show. Right, let me give you guys a gist into what could happen tonight. If Southampton wins, then West Brom will be relegated back into the Championship. Then the Saints, which is Southampton, will move 16th on goals difference above Huddersfield, and they can also be sure of safety by avoiding defeat against the Premier League champions Manchester City on Sunday. And also, okay, what does this also mean for Swansea City? If Swansea, that means Swansea City will remain in the relegation zone, and they need to beat already relegated Stoke City in the final day of the league. Now, Swansea, if Swansea manage to beat Southampton in tonight's game, that will move them into the 16th position, and it will be sure of safety by avoiding defeat against Stoke City on Sunday. That will then drop Southampton into the relegation zone, and that means that Southampton needs to beat Manchester City on Sunday, which I believe is going to be really impossible. But it's football, never say never. And just in case you'd be wondering, okay, Kente, what does that mean for a club like West Brom? Where does that leave them? Right. West Bromwich Albion will be hoping that the two clubs can probably split points. We'll get a draw in tonight's game. That will keep their Premier League title their hopes alive in the Premier League. But Abu, let me come to you. Do you see that happening? Definitely one of these clubs needs to get a win today. None of them are going to play for a draw.
None of them are going to play for a draw, but like sometimes a game like this does end up being a draw, because if no one takes a risk and no one wants to be the one to lose out, then no one plays attacking football and everybody just sit back. But I just feel like tonight they're going to be attacking. But West Brom, all they can do is just hope. That's all they can do. Hopefully the game goes the way that they want it and they get a draw. But I think tonight somebody has to go and try and take that 3 points and get yourself out. You don't be there in the final day and you still might go down. You have to, if you can sort it out now, so you don't have to worry about it. So I think tonight they have to go for it. One of Swansea or Southampton has to go for it and get themselves out of this mess.
So who do you reckon is going to come up on top of that then?
I do feel Swansea have the advantage being at home. So I'm leaning towards Swansea a little bit more, because they're at home, and because in a game like this you need that extra bit of motivation when stuff might not be going right. If the fans can push them in the right direction, I think they might just have the advantage. I'm not counting Southampton out though. I
think the Swansea fans need to be the 12th man, isn't it?
They have to be the 12th man. They need the fans. This is where you need the 12th man, and it's a big help. It's really, I think people underestimate how much of a help it is, especially in a game like this where everybody's going to be up for it because they know how big it is. We're not Swansea fans. But you know how big it is, and being a fan, you're gonna push really hard that your team give the best performance for you on this night. And being at home helps in a game that's this big. It definitely helps.
Right. Let's shift our attention away from the relegation battle. Because there is still the Premier League top four still need to be decided. I know the league is gone. City crowned the champions of England. We still got the third and fourth to come. Right, Chelsea played Huddersfield Town as one of their the games that they've got on other team. Tottenham Hotspur have got a game in hand against Newcastle United. And on Sunday, Chelsea travels to Newcastle and Spurs host Leicester City in the last game. So now the question is, I know we've said something like this already. Liverpool also hosts Chris Houston, Brighton, who they are remaining in the Premier League anyway. They are safe in the Premier League anyway. Now the Premier League table looks like it. Manchester City have got 94 points. They are the champions. United have got 77 points. They are second in the league. Liverpool are third with 72 points. Spurs are fourth with 71 points. And Chelsea are fifth with 69 points. But obviously we know that they've all got a game in hand. So it can all change.
It's very big. They can all change. I think Liverpool is the one that's in a bit more of a hot water, because that game in hand on them just puts them right back in there. They did not need that, and I just think everyone just gotta go for it. And Chelsea could end up looking the best that they shouldn't have, really, because they can end up with FA Cup and a Champions League place, and their season will look a lot more brighter than it looked like it was going to end if they end up with a FA Cup and a Champions League spot. So
yes, indeed,
they're just going to have to go for it and just make sure that they keep winning and put the pressure on. Make sure you put the pressure on them, that they know every mistake that you make, that I'm going to be there to collect those points. And
yes, indeed,
it's going to be a very interesting last day of the season. It just feels like,
as journalists, that's what we hope for.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
Right. Like I said earlier, and if you want to join in the conversation, try and give us a call on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 300. When we come back from our little breaker, we shall be discussing. Look, I know Klopp is in trouble if he doesn't win the Champions League or if he fails to qualify for the top 4. Do you think, Chelsea fans, maybe Antonio Conte is also in trouble if he fails to win the FA Cup and he does not get your club into the top 4? All this and more coming up right after the break.
The Discourse on ABN Radio, engaging our community with discerning conversation.
Join me, Esther Alade, on The Discourse, where we will be redefining perspectives with authentic analysis.
Join The Discourse from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on ABN Radio.
This Friday and every Friday on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Smart meter installed, they weren't entirely sure whereabouts in the home they'd be able to save energy. But they were determined to get gas and lecky under control. With the help of the handy in-home display, it didn't take long to see which energy guzzlers were costing the most money. Aha! Now gas and lecky don't stand a chance. The Harrisons are determined to keep their energy waste to a minimum. Contact your energy supplier today about getting your smart meter at no extra cost.
What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English bit.
Salad, fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa. I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio breakfast show with Efuadum. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Quentin Slowly, supporting all family and young people.
Aja guide me from my enemy. Yo, this is Shatta Wali and you're listening to ABN Radio. Mad.
Yes, indeed. You're listening to London's Afropolitan station, ABN Radio UK. Just before we continue the show, let me just shout out a lot of people, because a lot of people are watching us live on YouTube, and also they are listening to us all the way from the States, and also in Ghana, and also somewhere in Japan. Whoa, what time is it in Japan? Give me a call and tell me. That I'm surprised. And look, I'm really grateful that you've taken the time out, guys, to listening to the station for the first time, and also letting me know that, you know what, Kente, I'm watching you guys live, and also I'm listening to you guys live. But the question that the person would like to ask is, we are here talking about Liverpool's Klopp just being in danger, but we're not talking about Antonio Conte. Someone wants to know, Kente, they're all in the same boat. Yes, indeed, Abu.
Yeah, but you have to, it's that's to perspective. Like Conte, Liverpool, Chelsea's season had looked like a failure for a really long time now in terms of this season. So the fans,
who should be blamed for that?
I think the board. I think in terms of the backboard, they've not really worked in cohesion with Conte to bring in the players he wanted and had the direction he wanted to go. I think both of them wanted to go in a different direction a little bit, and I think that caused a bit of friction, as you've seen with some of Conte's interviews during the season. But I think Conte's one is a bit different because I think Chelsea fans have accepted that the season it didn't go the way that they wanted, and it's a bit of a failure. And if they ended up with FA Cup, it would be nice. But now the chance of a Champions League, all of a sudden the door opens wide open, and they can get a Champions League and a FA Cup. Now they're full of optimism, and they got nothing to lose. So it's the different side. Liverpool have everything to lose. They're in the Champions League spot. They're in the Champions League final. They're the ones with everything to lose. Chelsea, if they don't make Champions League football, they were not expected to anyway, compared to the way that they've left their team. It's very last minute for them. They're still hoping on other results. Liverpool are hoping on themselves to get top 4. So it'd be very deflating if Liverpool don't make Champions League football compared to if Chelsea don't make it, because Chelsea can still just go and win an FA Cup and say they will come back next season stronger. But Liverpool are in the Champions League final, and if they don't make it, it'll just be, I think it'll be so deflating.
Okay, would you blame Conte? Obviously, you just mentioned that you probably end up blaming the board anyway.
Yeah.
Do you see him keeping his job at the end of the season if he does not get any silverware for the Stamford Bridge club?
The thing that's difficult to answer with Conte is whether he wants to stay there as well, because he says he wants to stay there. But his body language does not look like someone that wants to stay there. And the Italy job is very tempting as well. So you have to just wait with Conte to see how it goes. But at the moment, if they win, I don't think they'll want to fire him if they win the FA Cup and get Champions League football, because the league this year, even if Chelsea was at their best form, they would have never won the league, because Man City was just unbelievable this year.
True.
So if Chelsea gets Champions League football and win the FA Cup, to me, the board will not they'll not stiff at that. That's good, and they can be in the Champions League next year with a trophy, and then they'll look to knock on. So I think it's good for Chelsea if they end up with a Champions League and the FA Cup.
Right, we've got Randy listening to us all the way from Ireland. Randy, a very good afternoon to you. Hi, Ireland. Is this bright and sunny? Thanks for the text messages as well. Abu Randy wants to know that, look, he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
You know, Wenger stayed on for 22 years, but he wants to know, do we think Wenger overstayed his welcome? Like, Wenger should have gone probably 2-3 seasons ago.
I think everybody is in unison in that he should have gone earlier than he did, because as you saw, everything that went on in the summer and prior to that, we've all felt like he should have gone, but he didn't. But the problem that I'm having is people are translating that to he has a bad legacy because he stayed beyond that. I don't think that really transpires. His legacy that he leaves behind is going to be great, and it's just unfortunate that he didn't take the jump when he was meant to. I think he was meant to leave when we beat Hull in the FA Cup final. I think that was the perfect time for him to leave. We hadn't won a trophy in ages. It would have been nice if he had left that season and then someone new came in. But now he's brought it to the point where it got a bit out of hand in the end. People started saying stuff that they didn't. I felt loads of people just saying stuff out of frustration most of the times, because 1 week.
I mean, the Arsenal fans, to be honest with you, the Arsenal fans, they were frustrated.
Yeah, it's frustration.
They've not won anything for quite a long time.
I do not blame them.
And if you look at the season ticket, the amount of money that they pay for their season ticket, I mean, they've got a right to be.
Absolutely. They have every right to complain.
They've been staffed for quite a long time.
They've been staffed for a long time. They had every right to complain. They have every right to say that they want a new direction, a new manager. But I'm just saying, just don't forget what this guy that's been there that has done as well, regardless of, because we're looking at everything on the pitch and talking about titles, but behind the scenes as well, Wenger has done a lot for that club in terms of stability. The way the club is run in terms of stability, like we might not spend the money that we expect to spend, but every year we're in profit, every year we're in turnover, and we're making smart investments. But it's just that investment has not been through players, and we're falling behind. And I think that's where Wenger was lacking. Like, we're just not moving forward anymore, and that's why he needed to leave. But for me, he's a great.
Right, the next question that somebody is somebody's asking is, the next manager that takes over at the Emirates Stadium, do you see him probably making wholesale changes come next season?
I think there's very few players at Arsenal that are safe, and the ones that, if they want to stay, they're going to have to change their whole game if a new manager comes in.
The mentality of the club.
Yeah. In terms of if Allegri comes in, players like Bellerin, who's been playing well of late, and I have to credit him for that, but there's just stuff that he has to do a bit more. He has to defend a lot more better. He needs to up his game. So for me, the only players that are really safe are most probably Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ramsey, and
Ramsey is dodgy.
Ramsey, I just feel like if he can get a good manager with him, he can turn into a great player.
A good manager with him. So are you trying to say Wenger wasn't a good manager?
In terms of like giving players direction to what they're meant to do, Arsenal, we looked lost this season. You have to be honest. When you've watched Arsenal, it's been sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways. Kind of
boring, isn't it?
Kind of boring. So you need that bit of impetus. I'm not saying that's why I'm saying Wenger was great, but his time was up, and that's the difference. It's not that he was right. His time was just up.
Running out of ideas.
His ideas were just the people just caught up with those ideas, and he just needs someone new, a breath of fresh air to give us something new, a different direction to go. Look at Oxlade-Chamberlain. He left Arsenal and he scored a great goal in the Champions League.
Abu, if you bring in Oxlade-Chamberlain into the conversation, then see the thing is, any player or most of the players that leaves Arsenal Football Club, they go on to win something. I mean, you're talking about Fabregas, Nasri, Van Persie, talking about Thierry Henry, just to name a few. The list goes on.
Yeah,
they always leave the club to win something. So I won't be surprised, even though Chamberlain will not be playing the Champions League final, he'll probably even end up getting the Champions League medal anyway.
Yeah, I think he would, and I think it's just he went to a team that suited his football.
Yes, indeed. They gave him the chance to play.
They gave him the chance to play, and they gave him the chance to play the way he likes to play. He doesn't want to be passing.
How come Wenger wasn't able to do that?
Because Wenger wants everybody to play a certain way, and he told you
Wenger way.
Yeah, and he's the same person that told Yaya Toure you can't be a box to box.
Yeah,
and Yaya Toure went on to be the best box to box in the world. So I'm just saying, sometimes Wenger's stubbornness is what stops him from seeing the bigger picture of what you can use this guy at his best ability. Oxlade-Chamberlain's best ability is when he's on the ball running at people. He doesn't want to be passing the ball every minute. He's better on the ball running at people and making people commit. So I just
I totally agree with you. I can't disagree with you more. If you want to join in the conversation, give us a call on 0208 1917 or 0208 670 300. You can WhatsApp or text us on 0788 7475 940. I do appreciate everyone that has been testing in, and like I said during the start of the show, I will try and read out all your text messages, and I'm doing just that. And I've got a big question coming up on the show. I've got a big question for Stoke City fans. Stoke City fans, who is to be blamed for the debacle at the football club? After 10 years, you are back into the championship. So who is to be blamed for all the problems that went on the pitch and behind the scenes? Give me a call on 0208 1917 and let's talk about that. We'll be right back after the break.
Rough Time Records. Lily Spade. Midas Touch.
One day you will know. These are the words of my mother. As I'm getting old, even now I remember. So I'm packing on my tools. I'm going back at home. A young girl like me shouldn't be caught with an old school fool. He told me he was a banker, not knowing bank robber. This man is a gangster, bukum bankum boxer. Oh sorry I no pa, but I'm boy. Everywhere we are, shock and ganja uncle. Now he beats me every night and day. Mama Michelle used to want me, but I didn't wanna know. Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle. Jenya grano de me, na pikin no de here mama, pikin no de here papa. And then kwada yaba, social media neda. Better than I have papa, better than I am your papa. Nansu akodana udia ukoteni usi abo. He told me he was a banker, no knowing bank robber. This man is a gangster, bukum bankum boxer. I'm sorry I no pa, but I'm bobo boy. A dream we are, shaka nigga janko. Now he beats me every night and day. Mama Michelle used to want me, but I didn't wanna know. Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle, Mama Michelle. Jenya grano de me. One day you will know. These are the words of my mother. As I'm getting old, even now I remember.
Right, it's still logged into London's Metropolitan Station, ABN Radio UK. If you've just joined us, thanks for your company. And I would like you to hear from you. I'd like you to join in the conversation by giving us a call on 0208 191 7078. This son is getting my head go round, Abu. Let me give you the number again, 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300. And also you can text or WhatsApp us on 0788 7475 Let me just quickly shout out Amonike James Apia Amonike, all the way in South London. Amonike saying, guys, great job, keep up the good work. Amonike, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for that words of encouragement. We appreciate it. Abu, let me ask you, I know we're just waiting to hear from the Stoke fans. Who is to be blamed for the debacle at Stoke City? I mean, a lot of the players, the ex-players, no, I won't say the ex-players, but they still play for the club. Yeah. Players like the midfielder, Charlie Adams, then the goalkeeper they've gone public to express their anger at what is going on at the club. Charlie Adams says that at least 4 or 5 of his teammates have been getting away with murder at the club.
I agree with him.
Oh wow, then go on. I'll leave you to go on.
I agree with him. I'm sorry. Like they've done the QPR model for me. They've brought in loads of names,
than that. Big names,
loads of names, and they have no idea what they're gonna do with them.
Big paycheck,
and it's not worked out. And the word that he used, farcical, I think was perfect. What Butland said. The transfer policy has been ridiculous. They've bought players that've come in and they've barely played. Berahino's been there. He's not scored a goal for the club yet.
Are you having the same feeling the same feeling I'm having that maybe Berahino is one of the players that you are referring to?
Berahino's definitely one of the players they're referring to. Since he's been there, he hasn't scored as a strike. You haven't scored a goal. He's now playing with the under 23s, and this was someone that they paid 12 million for from West Brom. And he had a nice little strop at West Brom saying he'll never play for them again because of how he got treated because of the Spurs move.
Yeah,
get over it. You're a footballer. If you did not get a move, professional. Raid Mahrez did not get his move to Man City.
Yeah,
he played. He did not get his move to Arsenal.
He
played. You're a professional. At the end of the day, you're on contract. You signed a contract. Whether you get a move or not, you have to play. And I think he made that situation bigger than it was. And he got away from a club that really loved him, that he came through the youth academy. They really looked after him. And he just took it too far. And I just think he's one of the players that I'm definitely talking about. And they have been right. Affile, they signed him. He played a couple of games.
Affile, what happened to Affile?
Hesse, they signed him.
As well.
He left after how many games?
Wow.
Mbula went on loan.
The name goes on.
Spent 18 million on Mbula. So you're just thinking, that's loads of money that they're spending. These players are coming in, they're not being effective, and they're just shipping them back out. So you have to say Mark Hughes is at the front center of this. He brought in these players. Yep. He changed the identity of Stoke.
Yes.
So when he changed the identity of Stoke, it did not work because sometimes a football club just is like it represents the fans.
Yes, indeed.
Stoke fans are gritty. They're hard. They're hard to beat. It used to be hard to go to their stadium.
I'm so sad. Listen, I'm so sad. I need to cut you off. But let me give you the last word on Abu. Big game at the Liberty Stadium tonight. Give me the scoreline. My time is running up.
Yeah. I do not believe in Stoke right now. I do not believe in Stoke at all.
So do you think Southampton will get a win against Swansea?
Yeah, I think Southampton. Swansea. I think Swansea will get a win. Yeah? I think Swansea will get. I'm tipping to Swansea because of the home form. So I'll say Swansea.
The home advantage you can't.
The home advantage. I think the home advantage will come in very handy if Swansea plays that
game. And the Premier League top 4. How do you see that finishing?
The Premier League top 4. I think Spurs. I think Spurs will bottle it. I really do, because the year when they could have in a 2-horse race and became third is exactly how they done it. Right. They were so close to Leicester and then they ended up losing a couple of games towards the end and then they dropped out of it. And right now the form that they're going in is reminiscent of that.
At my time, hold on. Who drops out of the top, the last 4? Who's going to get relegated?
Who's going to get relegated? For me, I think West Brom is gone.
Okay.
West Brom is gone.
Them? Swansea,
and I think
Southampton.
Because I'm going to Swansea. Then thank
you very much, because of my time. Thank you you very much for your company as well. And same time next week, he's listening to London's Afro-Proton Station. Sports Link Up with me, Kente, Kufuor, and Abubakar Kamara. Keep locked in. Coming up next, it's Cosmopolitan Drive with Sharon Rose. Sharon Rose will be here to drive you home safely with that beautiful song that she keeps playing, especially on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. So keep locked in. London's Afro-Proton Station, ABN Radio UK. God bless you and bye-bye.
ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
More news, more information. This is ABN News on the Hour.
Sky News Centre at 3. A man who tried to frame his son for a murder he committed has been jailed for at least 26 years. Matthew Mosley from Oswald Twistle in Lancashire handed a gun to his 14-year-old Thomas and told him to tell police he was the one who pulled the trigger. The Foreign Secretary is putting fresh pressure on the Prime Minister to abandon a proposed customs partnership with the EU, something she's believed to favour. It would see the UK collect European Union tariffs on behalf of Brussels in order to avoid a hard border in Ireland. But Boris Johnson's also suggested to reporters he's on the same page as Theresa May.
As she said in her Mansion House speech, we're coming out of the customs union, we're coming out of the single market.
It's a core issue.
And I have no doubt that that's what she and the rest of the government are going to deliver.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's travelled to China for talks with President Xi Jinping.